but then had a moment in the wet and dropped back. On the next row, we've got number 17, Harry Storer. He's in a Mark 1 MX. .82, another white car of Bruce Hadfield, and 69 Stephen Holden, but the man to watch will be Paul Rodison, number 55. Thankfully only light bodywork damage after spinning and clipping the barriers while leading yesterday's race. He's the blue and yellow car on row 3 of the grid. 1 or 2 gaps further back as we get underway now with race 1 of the day here at Donington Park. Good start by Andy Pretorius, good start by Paul Rodison, number 55, the first man to race a Mark 4 MX5 in the UK, and he's going to take the lead by the look of it down into Redgate. Bruce Hadfield in third, and a good start by Aaron Bunning, number 22, the yellow car. The Mark 3 MX5 goes up into 4th place. Looks like they're all round Redgate okay for the first time. They head down the plunge of the Craner curves, and it is Paul Rodison who has got the lead in car number 55, looking to make up the disappointment yesterday in markedly drier conditions. Good start as well by Ollie Walden, number 27, the silver Mark 1. He's up to 5th. There's Sam Hicks. He must have started from the pit lane. There he is at the back, the number 7. He must have had a last-minute problem getting past Gina May Watkinson there in the number 9, who's made a little bit of a slow start. One of the RX-8s moving up there, the blue RX-8 of Richard Smith, number 11. As they head up towards McLean's corner, and then it's through in towards Coppice. Out of Coppice corner come the leaders then down the exhibition straight towards the Roberts chicane for the first time. It is Paul Rodison and Andy Pretorius clear of the rest of the field. Nice busy little battle developing for 5th place. Richard Smith heading that at the moment in the first of the rotary engined RX-8s. The RX-7 also with a rotary engine in it, of course. Leaders across the line for the first time. Paul Rodison from Andy Pretorius by 0.28 of a second. It's Bruce Hadfield in third, Aaron Bunning fourth, then Smith fifth. Already up into the top 10 by the look of it is Sam Hicks in number 7. See where he has come through over the line in a moment. Timing screen is correcting itself. He's in 13th place, Sam Hicks, having started from the pit lane. 2 leaders down the Craner curves then for the second time. And Andy Pretorius not letting Paul Rodison get away here. Bruce Hadfield in third, then it's Aaron Bunning in fourth, and here's the battle of the RX-8s, and in the middle of them is Simon Fleet, the invitation class runner, the blue and pink car we caught a glimpse of there. He actually made it through briefly into the lead of the race yesterday, then had an off and dropped back again. Certainly was a mixed up order because of the rain yesterday. Also coming through there, the black and yellow car of Raymond Worley as they head through McLean's corner. Out they come into Coppice. Down the exhibition straight for the second time. Aaron Bunning could challenge for third here. Bruce Hadfield under fire. It's Mark 4s 1, 2 and 3 at the moment in Class A. Aaron Bunning the lone Class B runner. Then we've got Richard Smith. Simon Fleet, next in the order. Then it is the number 25, Andrew Stacey. He's taken the lead of the RX-8 class, so Richard Smith has dropped back a couple of spots. He's under fire from Raymond Worley in the number 40 now as they come down the Wheatcroft Straights. Tim Orme, number 111, next in the order, but Simon Fleet is flying through the order. The 155 car, very much one to watch here. Pretorius, meanwhile, has done the fastest lap of the race, 1 minute 25.662. Lead margin is a quarter of a second. Here they come down the hill into the old hairpin. Little battle further back there, a couple of the Mark 1s. That's Ollie Walden, the Class C leader. He's got Harry Storer's black Mark 1 behind him. The battle is starting to intensify up the front between Rodison and Pretorius. They disappear through McLean's corner and up to Coppice. Simon Fleet's taking third place there from Bruce Hadfield. He's going well, the number 155 car. Out of Coppice corner they come. Down the exhibition straight, the two leaders have gone clear. Andy Pretorius in the slipstream of Paul Rodison. Is he going to be able to make a move into the chicane? Simon Fleet up to third. Here comes Andrew Stacey. He's running well early on in the RX8, up on the tails of Bruce Hadfield and the number 22 car, which is Aaron Bunning from Stafford. Still Rodison holding the lead, 0.3 of a second the gap. And they're quite well clear of Simon Fleet, who's now in third. He's 7.5 seconds back on the two leaders, though. Hadfield is fourth, and here comes Andrew Stacey. Now, he normally races in Class A with a Mark 4 MX5, but he's in the higher car, the Mazda RX8 from the Championship this weekend, trying racing in Class D. This is the second meeting of the season for the Max5 Championship, as Ollie Walden runs wide there in his Mark 1. They've had their first weekend in July at Croft in North Yorkshire, where John Halliwell, the prime mover behind this championship since its founding in 2003, won both races. He's not racing this weekend. Paul Rodison likely to take the lead of the championship, I would say, because Andy Pretorius missed the first round. And there's that beautiful Mazda RX-7 of Mark Spence, similar to the car that Wyn Percy had so much success in the British Touring Car Championship in the early 1980s. Paul Rodison still with the lead then from Pretorius. Here's the battle for third place. Fleet. Hadfield now under fire from Andrew Stacey. Down into the chicane, he goes through. Up into fourth place. Still leading the way in his class. A little bit of sort out further behind them as well, by the look of things. Watch for Sam Hicks coming through as well. He's currently lapping in the 125s, about 3 or 4 seconds quicker than those ahead of him. So we should see the number 7 car rise through the order. He's up to 9th place this time around, and he has done the fastest lap of the race, 124.765. I don't know what the problem was for Sam, but we saw him battling for the lead yesterday, so we'll see him up with the leaders fairly soon. There he is, challenging Richard Smith in his RX-8. Richard Smith won the Mark 1 class last season. Class championships in A, B, C and D, led by John Halliwell. Lee Hollin on top in Class B after the opening weekend, but he's not out this weekend, so Aaron Bunning will take the lead of their class championship. Class C, Ollie Walden has won all 3 races so far, ahead of Gina May Watkinson. And it was Richard Smith leading the points in Class D after Croft. The runners towards the back of the field here. There's one of our invitation class runners, number 50, Tim Storer. Chased by the 69 car, that's Stephen Holden. Here's the battle further back for 4th place now. This is the closest battle on these circuits at the moment, because Paul Rodison has pulled away slightly from Andy Pretorius. We'll try and pick them up as we go into Redgate this time, the leaders. Here comes Sam Hicks, meantime, taking Raymond Worley, one of our invitation class runners. There's the leaders. Pretorius closing back up again. He's just done another fastest lap of the race, 124.068. Simon Fleet in 3rd place, leads the invitation class. Andrew Stacey up there in a good 4th overall, leads Class D, with his headlights ablaze. Here comes Sam Hicks, trying to come through into 5th position now. There are the leaders. Paul Rodison to the bottom part of the circuit here, where he spun off in yesterday's race and clipped the barriers. You'll notice a bit of damage on the right-hand side of Paul's car. Real guru when it comes to MX5 racing. There's number 17, Harry Storer, in his Mark 1. He's currently running in 11th place, had a good run in yesterday's race as Raymond Worley goes side by side with, I think that's Bruce Hadfield, getting a bit of a wiggle on through McLean's. There's Mark Spence in the RX-7, down in 14th place, but it's worth looking at that car because it looks so nice. Hazards flashing on there on the Mark 4 MX-5s as the 2 leaders break for the chicane. Coming up over the line, coming up to lap Gina May Watkinson in her Mark 1. Running 2nd in Class C, Ollie Walden leading that class. The 2 leaders down into Redgate, up the inside. Andy Pretorius having a look. He came from a long way back there. He's going to have a go at the inside. The back marker is in the way, and that's clever driving by Andy Pretorius. He's boxed Paul Rodison in behind Gina May Watkinson, who was getting the blue flags there to warn her that the leaders were behind her. Paul Rodison won't be too happy there, I don't think. That was a clever move by Andy Pretorius. He boxed Rodison in as they came out of Redgate behind Gina, the back marker. And now Andy Pretorius is in the lead and going for a double victory this weekend. Now the leaders up into McLean's corner. They're well clear of third place man Simon Fleets. There he is. He's over 8.5 seconds back on the leaders now. Sam Hicks is in 4th place. He's got ahead of Andrew Stacey now. Then we've got Raymond Worley in 6th position. Bruce Hadfield is down to 7th, the man from Cheshire. Aaron Bunning, his grandfather Dennis Bunning used to race Honda CRXs among other things, is next in the order as the leaders lap the number 69 of Steve Holden going into the chicane. He's been struggling a bit this weekend. Richard Smith is in 9th and Tim Orme 10th, the next two RX8s. Class C leader Ollie Walden is down to 12th behind Harry Storer. Going into the Grainer curves. Just past half distance, just under 10 minutes of this race to go. Here come the leaders. And Pretorius has increased his lead slightly. It was 0.87 of a second at the end of the last lap. They're on lap 8 now, but it's a timed race, of course, 20 minutes. And well, after 4 races this season, as it stands at the moment, we're going to have Paul Rodison without a race victory. That's unheard of in the Max5 Championship, just lapping one of the Storer family there in the Mark Watts. Here's Aaron Bunning, the number 22 car, leading Class B. He's got Richard Smith in his number 11 RX8 on his tail. You can see interesting livery on Richard's car, the blue car with the paint splotches all over it. The graffiti livery, we call that one. They're fighting for 8th place overall. Smith doesn't need to pass Aaron Bunning. They are in different classes. He's going to have a go anyway. He goes through at McLean's. Gina May Watkinson moving out of the way, letting some of the quicker runners through. There goes Sam Hicks in 4th place. Andrew Stacey in 5th, still leading Class D. And Ray Worley, 2nd in the invitation class, in 6th position overall. Stinks out to lap Gina May Watkinson there. Here are the leaders. Andy Pretorius leads Paul Rodison. He'll be desperate to try and make a move to get that lead back. They're coming up on Mark Spence in the RX7 to lap him. This championship, of course, as you may deduce from its name, was originally just for Mazda MX-5s. This season it is open to all models of Mazda. As Paul Rodison up the inside into McLean's, they are side by side on the exits. Waiting to pick them up as they come out of Coppice. Apologies for the lack of coverage from Coppice Corner at the moment. We'll try and get that ready for the next race as Paul Rodison continues to lead the way. He's taken the lead from Andy Pretorius coming out of McLean's there. So Rodison finally making his move. With just over 7 minutes of the race to go, he's going to have to work hard to hold off Andy Pretorius, who's having one of his best weekends in the championship so far. Rodison now has the lead. Pretorius in 2nd. It's just between these two for the lead now. They're well clear of Simon Fleet in 3rd place. 10 seconds up on him now. Down the Craner curves they come. Paul Rodison with John Halliwell, the most successful driver in Max5. Took the lead at the exit of McLean's last time, just managed to get his nose down the inside. Up the hill they go towards McLean's again, and Pretorius going to the outside this time. He won't get through there. They swing their way up to the highest part of the course, up towards the double apex right-hander at Coppice Corner. There's Simon Fleet still in 3rd place. Further back in the order, here's Richard Smith running in 8th. He's just lapped Steve Holden in the blue and orange number 69. Smith having pulled clear of Aaron Bunning now. 9th position. Harry Storer is up to 10th. He's got ahead of Tim Orme in his RX8. Leaders down into the chicane for what will be the 10th time. Just under 6 minutes of this race to go. Paul Rodison from Andy Pretorius. Over the line they go. Separated by just under half a second. Fleet third. Hicks still in 4th place. Let's see if the gaps come down between those two. It was just over 7 seconds between Simon Fleet and Sam Hicks. Just waiting for Hicks to come through. Come down to 5.5 seconds now, so he's definitely closing on him at the rate of just under 2 seconds a lap. Rodison with the new fastest lap of the race, 1:23.588. Ray Worley has taken 5th position. Or has he? No, he hasn't. Stacey's still ahead there. I thought Worley had got through. Andrew Stacey is still there in a good 5th overall, the first of the RX8s in Class D. There's Tim Orme's version back in 11th place. Lost out now to Harry Storer. Ollie Walden continues to lead Class C in 12th overall. He's got Adrian Burge, number 90, behind him. He's an invitation class runner. Then Mark Spence, Tim Storer, Steve Holden and Gina May Watkinson round out the field. Everybody still running. From the 17 who started. Here come the leaders. Lapping one of the Mark 1s. I think that's Adrian Burge going a lap down. Rodison over the line from Andy Pretorius. Is the gap going to increase this time? Yes, it has. 0.936 of a second. So Rodison slowly but surely just beginning to pull away. Simon Fleet's 13 seconds back on Pretorius, still safe in 3rd. Here's the battle for 5th place between Andrew Stacey and Raymond Worley. Let's see what the gap was between those two. It was 1.8 seconds. We'll see what it is as they come over the lines. The leaders head down into the old hairpin once again. The gap is now 1.6 seconds for 5th position. I think Andrew Stacey's transponder isn't working because it's taking longer for his times to come through onto my screen. Towards the closing stages now, 3.5 minutes to go. It's looking good for Paul Rodison to take his first win of the Max5 season. Spun out of yesterday's race and hit the barrier down at the bottom section of the circuit. It's just so wet in yesterday's race with all these cars being rear-wheel drive. It was nigh on impossible for these drivers, well, it was near impossible for them to see where they were going. There was so much spray around. So Rodison will close the gap. I don't think he'll catch John Halliwell at the top of the points in Class A. Aaron Bunning will take the lead of Class B in the championship this weekend from Lee Hollin, who's not here. Ollie Walden will stay unbeaten by the look of things in Class C, 4 out of 4. And in Class D, Richard Smith, the points leader in Class C, but it'll be close between him and Andrew Stacey, who's looking for 2 class wins this weekend. Andrew having raced, as we said, in Class A at the first round in a Mark 4. But trying out the hired RX8 here this weekend. Rodison and Pretorius still very similar lap times. Just under a second between the two of them. Down the hill there's Raymond Worley. He's just lapped Mark Spence in his rotary-engined RX7. Great to see a classic RX7 out there. Bruce Hadfield coming up to lap him as well. Bruce running down in 7th, despite having started from the front of the grid. This class-based grid system certainly makes for some exciting racing. Leaders over the line, and Rodison pulled away by exactly half a second on that lap. 1.418 seconds now the gap. 1:29 left on the clock, so it's going to be tight when they come round next time. Will this be the last lap, or will they get one more out of it? There'll only be a few seconds in it as they get to the line this time. Simon Fleet still in 3rd. He's going to win the non-points invitation class. don't think Andy Pretorius is going to be able to close back up to Paul Rodison here. It's looking good for the man from Thurgoland. Class B is going to be won by Andrew Stacey. Waiting to see if he is still ahead of Ray Worley. As we say, the transponder issue with one of those cars making things a little bit confusing. Leaders coming up on a bit of backmarker traffic here. They've got Ollie Walden, I think that is, ahead of them. Also Gina May Watkinson and Steve Holden going to go a lap down. I think the leaders are going to come through. Is it going to be checkered flag this time? I'm not sure. There's a few seconds left on the clock as they come through towards the line. No, they will get one more lap out of this. There's 12 seconds left as Paul Rodison crosses the line. So one more lap in the book. Rodison heading for victory then. He's still just over a second clear, although Pretorius did take a couple of tenths out of him on that last lap. Down the Craner curves they come for what will be the final time. Through the old hairpin. They've cleared the back markers, all okay. This is going to mean Ollie Walden is now leading Class C by a full lap. He's about to lap the only other Class C car in the race, Gina May Watkinson. Plains corner up to Coppice, the leaders go for the last time. Out of the final corner they come, then the clock is down to 0. It's going to be a win for Paul Rodison in car 55. The checkered flag is out. Paul Rodison takes the win, just under a second ahead of Andy Pretorius at the flag. And Simon Fleet will take third place overall, and he will win the invitation class. As Simon Fleet completes the podium. 15 laps completed in the 20 minutes of our second Max5 race of the weekend. Well done to all of their drivers. Well done Sam Hicks as well, coming through from a pit lane start to take 4th place. Waiting to see who will take 5th. There was a problem on that last lap for Andrew Stacey. He's dropped down the order, showing in 9th place. So Ray Worley will take 5th. Bruce Hadfield will come over in 6th place. And we'll confirm the results very shortly officially from Well, there is the results confirmed then. Paul Rodison, the winner, ahead of Andy Pretorius by just under a second. Third place for Simon Fleet, he wins the invitation class. Sam Hicks coming through from a pit lane start to take 4th. Ray Worley in 5th ahead of Bruce Hadfield. 7th place going to Richard Smith, he wins the RX8 class. Andrew Stacey with a problem there on the last couple of laps. He dropped back to 10th behind Aaron Bunning. 9th place, I should say, not 10th. Problems with his transponder, of course. And Harry Storer completing the top 10.